What's good, YouTube? Today we are breaking down UFC Fight Night, Yadong versus Figueiredo main card. Now notice how I only said main card? Listen, I had a busy week, y'all. My bad. I did not hold it down for y'all and did zero research. Now the main event, I don't need any research. I know who I'm picking. But the prelims, are we dead ass here, bruh? Like, yo. Okay, I'm not a casual. I swear, word two. I'll say half of these motherfuckers are making their debuts, yo. Like, I don't know who Ding Main and Jose Henriquez. I don't know who's gonna win between them. Like, I dead ass don't know. Yisak Leak versus Luis Diaz de Assis. Gang, I don't know who's winning that fight, so do not ask.
Hell no, man.
So that's why instead of just skipping past, instead of nitpicking some of the prelims, we're just gonna go to the main card. Alright, fuck that. We're only doing main card. So we're gonna start off with Alex Perez versus Sumu Duraji. That was probably racist. I'm sorry. We're just gonna call him Sumu. I believe both of them are coming off wins. Let me confirm that. Yes, they're both coming off wins. Throughout my MMA experience, I've never seen Alex Perez as anything special. Actually, if you happen to have anything about you that was special in the flyweight division, you were most likely to be Alex Perez. Until I seen that Charles Johnson versus Alex Perez matchup. Because the same Charles Johnson that slept Blonar Kavanaugh and Joshua Van and beat Sumu, you tell me Alex Perez looked perfect against him? For some reason, Alex Perez wants to wake up and not want to be NPC no more. So that's giving me a different look when I see Alex Perez step into the octagon, which is precisely the reason I'm actually going to be picking him by decision. Unanimous decision at that. Just the better, cleaner striker. Hopefully today he's still switched on and he's not like his usual self. He just continues going on that trajectory. Muslim Salikov versus Jake Matthews. This is me from the future. I know that Jake Matthews versus Muslim Salikov was canceled, but the point still stands. I'm still picking Jake Matthews regardless. One I'm actually conflicted on because I'm really struggling to decide who I'm going to pick between these two. Listen, Jake Matthews, the younger fighter. I'm actually a fan of Jake Matthews. I am a Jake Matthews fan, but I'm putting my bias to the side. This guy has been chinny before. Like, he has looked pretty chinny out there. He has lost to questionable competitors. Neil Magny. Yeah, I know that fight was controversial, but still. Most of his fights, he has that KO ability. He is although he's a Russian, he doesn't rely on his grappling. He actually knocks people out, bruh. Jake Matthews is pretty chinny. That shit is a little scary now. Now I'm a little concerned. But I gotta go Jake Matthews. I can't switch up on my dog. So now I'm being biased. My bad. I'm being biased now. I'm being biased. My bad. Kai Sakura versus Cameron Smotherman. I gotta go with Kai Sakura though. And he's looked bad recently, right? We've all hopped off the tram. We all switched up on our day ones. Day ones being Kai Sakura. We did switch up on him, y'all. We was hyped to see him. Like, let's not forget, y'all. We was low-key hating on Pantoja for a minute. We're like, oh my god, he just grapples and holds him up. And then when we see Kai Sakura in the scene, we're like, hold on now. This motherfucker be looking flashy with them knees. And then he lost to Pantoja. Then he went up against Tim Elliott. Well, he's not gonna lose to Tim Elliott though, like, right? He loses to Tim Elliott. But Cameron Smotherman is like a tier below that. Now, we were high on Kai Sakura for a reason, and I truly believe he's not that ass now, bro. Please don't be this ass. I see Kai Sakura winning via KO round 3. Cameron Smotherman is most likely going to try to, initiate some grappling, get close, because he doesn't want to give Kai Sakura that space. Hopefully Kai Sakura has been working on his grappling, a little bit, just a little bit. You don't need to work on it that much. Actually, no, you do have to work on it that much, especially you. But I'm just saying, for a Cameron Smotherman, I don't think you need to be stressing that much. But do not underestimate him, Kai Sakura, because you will fucking lose if you don't lock into him. Sergey Pavlovich versus Taliesin Teixeira. All right, this one. Side note, y'all. Y'all been seeing that Alex Pereira, Taliesin Teixeira training room? You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been tapped in with each other. That's a good look for Teixeira, you know what I'm saying? He's been working on his striking with an elite striker. But Taliesin Teixeira was struggling against Tai Tuivasa. I don't need to convince myself. This motherfucker is ass. But what's kind of making me second guess myself is the fact that this motherfucker's low-key. This man low-key be throwing. He be landing his paws against Alex Pereira. Especially recently, y'all seen that one clip where he damn near rocked Alex Pereira. That's not a good look for Alex Pereira, bro. Like, but now I'm starting to gaslight myself to where, like, maybe we're just shitting on Teixeira too much, where we're underestimating him, which is why he looks good against Alex Pereira in some clips. But then I remind myself, no, this motherfucker's ass. He's ass. Now, Sergey Pavlovich is coming off a loss, unlike Teixeira, but he lost to Waldo Cortez. Okay, not the worst loss. And let's not forget, yeah, we forgetting that this motherfucker was dropping bodies. Matter of fact, it was not me. Y'all was calling this motherfucker Francis Ngannou, the white Francis Ngannou, the European Francis Ngannou. I was not calling him that, but y'all were calling that boy that. All right, let's not forget that. Let's not forget that mean win streak he was going on before he lost to Tom Aspinall, Volkov. Let's not forget the past though. This motherfucker has proved himself to be a good heavyweight. He's not like the rest of the blobs, all right? He's a different type of heavyweight. I don't see him knocking out Teixeira though. I do see him winning by decision. Teixeira was eating some heavy punches from Ty. All right, let's not forget this motherfucker does have a chin. Pavlovich has not shown me to have poor gas tank and poor IQ. And by IQ, I mean, like, you know, if he has someone hurt, he's not going to overexert his energy and then gas out. You know what I'm saying? He's not shown that before. He's shown to be very methodical with his finishing ability. All right. Zhang Ming Yang versus Alonzo Menifield. All right. These guys are pretty goofy. I'm not going to lie. They're pretty goofy. But I would be lying if I said Menifield was not goofier. This motherfucker is goofy as fuck, chinny as hell. He gets knocked out a lot. All right? Or at least every time I tune in. Yeah, is it just me or every time I tune into Alonzo Menifield, like when I tune into his fights, this motherfucker's getting slapped, yo. Word too. I know he hasn't been getting slapped in every fight, but every time I think of Alonzo Menifield fight, I just think of him getting slapped. I don't know why. Zhang Ming Yang, on the other hand, he's shown to have speed. He's shown to have crisp striking, but he has shown to have a poor gas tank. But against Alonzo Menifield, a guy that's going to come at you from the start, he fights like he thinks he has a grand chin. He does not, which is why I think Ming Yang is going to snipe him in the first round. Round 1 KO. Song Yadong versus Davison Figueiredo. All right. Figgy has not been looking good lately. You know, when he moved up to bantamweight, he did start off strong. But then he's been going on a losing skid. But then he beat Montel Jackson. We're like, all right, hold on. It's not over. You know what I'm saying? Unk still got some gas in the tank. And then he fought Omar. And that was his last fight till then. So he's coming off a loss. Song Yadong also coming off a loss against Sean O'Malley. But we're not going to forget how competitive that fight was, though. We're not going to forget that. That fight was low-key competitive. And the Sean O'Malley fans were low-key stressing when round 3 was up. All right. So at least in my opinion, I don't think he'll lose to a Davison Figueiredo that's, you know, at his tail end of his career. He's had injuries in the past. He has wars. But he does have power. He does still have that power. We've seen it against Peter Yan, knocking him down. Boom. But we all know that Song Yadong has a chin. This motherfucker does not go down. Which leads me to say that I truly believe that Song Yadong is going to win by decision. I do think Davison Figueiredo can at least survive all the rounds, but it's going to be a unanimous decision. Not a 50-45. That's giving Song Yadong too much credit. I'll say he's going to for sure win at least 4 out of the 5 rounds. I'll give Davison Figueiredo maybe 1 round. Song Yadong is at his peak career. Let's not forget, this guy's young. He's now entering his prime. He's tested himself against elite competition. Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley, which were also very competitive. Both of them were competitive fights. Henry Cejudo had to low-key quit.
I know, but I can't see, man. Get
out! And something I just noticed is I went for all the favorites. What the fuck?